Treasury and the National Assembly are likely to lock horns in the next few days as MPs push to unlock the constituency development funds that has been held by Treasury over a ruling by the Supreme Court. The House says they may be forced to slow down over the same.
We are soon going on a long recess, which will only end sometime in February or March next year. February 13th. So, Speaker, going by past precedents, if this House adjourns for recess without a clear indication as to when disbursements of CDF will be made, we stand the risk of staying all the way up to the last quarter of this financial year.
People are waiting for us not to go on recess. They are waiting for us to go home to process their bursaries for term 1 school fees in January.
Unanimously, the MPs have threatened a go-slow that may affect government operations that require the House to intervene. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, forced to intervene, urging the Majority Leader, Kimani Ichung'wah, to unlock the stalemate at Treasury.
There is nobody in the executive who should imagine that you are doing any member of parliament any favor by disbursing CDF. CDF funds are funds that are going directly to the people.
The Cabinet Secretary responsible for National Treasury, by next week at the very latest, to make an equivocal undertaking as to when the first disbursements of the CDF funds are going to hit the accounts of the respective constituencies.
Majority Leader, I will give you an opportunity, perhaps together with the Chair of Budget and Finance, to engage the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury, and I'll give you an opportunity on Tuesday afternoon to make a formal statement out of that engagement so that you can be able to guide the House accordingly.
But as the National Assembly organized a meeting with Treasury, concerns have been raised over Treasury that announced that funds will not be disbursed as already it was declared illegal by the Supreme Court.
Failure to do that, I will be moving members of the House to refrain from any talk of recess, firstly, and secondly, to refrain from any engagement on any business. Not until and unless CDF and CDF funds are disbursed.
The MPs are awaiting 66 billion shillings from Treasury, with the focus now on Treasury CS Njuguna Ndung'u, if he will heed to the MP's demand or will adhere to Supreme Court ruling and await on MPs to enact it into law.
CDF is not disbursed to the committee. It is disbursed to the fund manager. The fund manager is an employee of the board, which is an extension of the National Treasury. So there's absolutely no reason why the National Treasury should not be disbursing our CDF.
Since this House approved the appointment of the substantive Cabinet Secretary, that's Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, would I be in order, Mr. Speaker? Therefore, because we know the committee, the relevant committee, is still at its formative stages.
Should the members boycott House business and the requisite number of members is not achieved, the Speaker may be forced to adjourn the House, or should the sittings continue and members miss 8 consecutive sittings, as outlined in the law, they risk losing their seat. However, they may decide to paralyze government business and legislation until their demands are met. Daniel Kariuki, KTN News.